Hello, it's Phoebe, and this is one of the coolest instruments I have ever found and played and seen, I think. I am enamored with it. It was labeled as a salesman sample piano, so like if you were a traveling piano salesman, you might take this around and show it off to people so they could imagine how nice it would look in their house. I don't know how you can tell if something's a salesman sample or a toy, so not sure if the tag at the antique store was right or not, but nevertheless, it is a tiny piano, and it sounds like that. So let's take a look inside of it. I managed to get the tiny little finishing nails and tacks that were holding this together off enough to look inside of it and repair it. So this is what's under the hood. It is pretty much a xylophone that you can't hear very well, but with the keys you can hear it just great. I'm not sure how old this is. If anyone is well versed in antiques and can tell me how old you think this is, let me know. I would love to know more about this. I'm not the most knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. But I replaced the pegs that were coming off. It just looks like there was some sort of like cardboard or really thin wood, pressed wood, with some felt hanging from a piece of cloth. So I replaced those with a little bit of cardboard, double-sided tape, and duct tape, and then stapled the duct tape on once I had it in position. And it is holding up fine for now. I'm hesitant to reattach the back because I feel like it might fall apart, and I also wanted to be able to keep an eye on how everything was coming together. So I don't know if there's a way to tune a xylophone, because some of these notes are not in tune, especially this high octave. But in theory, it's kind of in tune, you know, I can play songs on it. It's just up here, it gets a little iffy. Special. So here is a scale on the actual piano. Excuse my bad keyboard skills, it's been a while. And here it is on the tiny piano. Kinda doesn't sound like this is a C, but it's the closest note. It's right between I don't know which one that is. So this thing is incredibly nifty, and it has already given me more ideas than I know what to do with for modifications or similar projects. For one thing, when I bought this, I thought, well, probably the keys won't work, but if there's a xylophone inside, it would sound good if my jig doll Tiny Gilligan danced across it. Well, I was wrong about that because it just doesn't ring very well. But because these keys are so light, he can dance across them and play it that way, and it sounds very cool, in theory. So, one thought I had was, what if I could rig up some sort of damper pedal that would mute every xylophone bit that isn't, let's say, in a G chord. So let's say I was playing a song in C, and then I switched to a 4 chord, a G chord. I could press that damper down, and then Tiny Gilligan would only play on notes that aren't dampened, and therefore notes that are in the C chord. And so he could dance along with his unpredictable foot movements, but every note he would hit that would make a sound would be in tune with what I'm playing. And I could change it, you know, I could have one for a 1 chord, one for a 5 chord, 4 chord, 6 chord, etc. That could be very cool. I don't know if this is the right instrument to do that with, but it's a concept that I think is very neat, and I definitely want to try at some point. Another idea I have is maybe replacing this xylophone with something that's more in tune, or a little bit newer. I'm not sure how to tune a xylophone though, or acquire an in-tune xylophone. There's probably a way to look it up. I'm not quite sure what these are made of, but if you know how to tune a xylophone or where to get, 18 keys xylophone that I could replace this xylophone with so it sounds more in tune, that would be a fun experiment. I think it would also be interesting to get something like a zither or a harp, something that's just like a lot of strings that are every note in a scale, and attach it to some sort of key mechanism like this, so that instead of hitting xylophone keys, they're hitting strings. That could be cool. I don't know. There's so many ideas with this, but I love it, even though it's out of tune and the black keys are painted on and it's very ringy. I think it's wonderful. So anyway, this is my new tiny piano. If you have any idea how old it was, whether it's a salesman sample or a toy piano, or ideas about how to refurbish it or make it sound better, basically, you guys are smart. I want to hear what you guys think, because you always have the best comments. I'll be terrorizing my friends and family with this unique sounding little instrument for quite a while. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a lovely day, and do not fret this Friday. It's not Friday. Bye. Switch hands.